Okay, so we have Luana Ozemela, CEO of Development Impact Managers and Advisors. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So first and foremost, for those who don't know what your organization does, can you just give us an overview of the work that you do?
Yes, so Development Impact Managers and Advisors, DIMA for short, is a company established at the Qatar Financial Center. It's the first Brazilian-owned, led by a Brazilian woman, company established at that economic free zone called the QFC. And our focus is providing professional services, management consulting services to companies, corporations that want to do business in Qatar and also in the Gulf region. So we provide not only business intelligence about markets, we also do due diligence of projects. We do the basic screening, and we also match companies with potential investors or partners and stakeholders in general.
I mean, in your panel, you spoke about African businesses going into Qatar. What have been the challenges, I mean, in your experience?
So one of the things I was speaking in the panel was the difficulty that, first of all, we need countries to signal to one another that they want to do business with one another. And once they signal through presidential visits, through just really diplomatic relations, they need to have effective diplomatic missions deployed to that country. All of those things are like basic things that help businesses to do trade with one another. Once government signal it's green light, companies and business feel much more comfortable to do business with one another. And once those agreements or clear messages are passed, then we need to create or identify quality information about the projects that are seeking investment, right? So, and one of the challenges that we see, not only with African businesses, but also with Brazilian businesses, is that projects, they have great ideas, it sounds great, business opportunities, but there is not enough data that allows investors to make an informed decision. So that's where we come into place in order to de-risk business opportunities for investors.
I mean, what opportunities exist for investors who want to get into Qatar?
In terms of businesses wanting to do business with Qatar, very recently has created an array of options. They have done some very important reforms in business laws, or laws that provide a much more conducive environments for businesses. They have created economic free zones and industrial free zones, technological free zones that allows to give a bit more flexibility in terms of the current legislation. So even if the current legislation has certain barriers for, let's say, businesses setting up in terms of partnerships, etc., those free zones can have a totally separate, let's say, legal framework and much friendlier legal framework in order to incentivize businesses to come and establish themselves. So in terms of opportunities, there are many free zones being created, and also there are many trade opportunities with the new strategy, or this emerging strategy of food self-sufficiency. Qatar wants to diversify their partners and wants to diversify their agro investments around the world. So in terms of Africa and Brazil, they are both huge candidates for doing business in Qatar.
I mean, the ease of doing business is different throughout, I guess, the world. When you look at Africa, 54 countries, ease of doing business is different. It depends where you are in which market. Mm-hmm. So when you talk to investors in Qatar who want to obviously explore Latin America, Africa, what are they concerned about?
So in terms of the concerns, of course, having well-structured and well-designed projects that really give the returns that they are expecting or they are saying that they are meant to give, it's of course top on the list. There are other areas related to, of course, corruption, and that's both in Brazil and in Africa, and political stability. I think for the Qatari investors, those are let's say, important areas. They are very straightforward investors, and they like transparency. And I think they praise, and even the Emir of Qatar has been funding initiatives and awards for African leaders who show initiatives or show anti-corruption strategies. No? So they value that a lot. And I think the relationship that Qatar wants to have, particularly with Africa, is a relationship of no exploitation. We are partners. We are brothers and sisters. We are coming to do business with you because we want to build your economy at the same time that we want to build ours. And we come also as humanitarian as well as business. So in that sense, I think Qatar's partnership, different from some other countries, they want to see African nations to grow at the same time that they also develop their own economy.
So now, back to your organization. What is it doing to promote South-to-South cooperation?
So this afternoon, and I'm going right now to an event DIMA is organizing in partnership with Santos Neto Lawyers Office, and is an event that is gonna host 34 CEOs, Brazilian CEOs, who have expressed a desire to do business with Qatar. And they want to learn more. And that's our role, is just to share information, share a bit about the culture, about the business opportunities, about the legal environment and the macroeconomic environment, so that they feel more comfortable into going into business with Qatar. So this is one of the initiatives. And we are based in Qatar. We also have an office in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, and we are actively seeking for investments and to expand and consolidate a quality portfolio to then present to our Qatari investors and counterparts.
That's interesting. So thank you for that. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah,
And I want to also thank...
Very insightful.
Yeah,
very
and also to
insightful.
thank Brazil Africa Institute, because they have unleashed a world of, let's say, ideas and collaborations here, which I think we are going to take a lot home, and many different contacts to
Wonderful.
develop.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Bye-bye.